All right, let's do this thing. Welcome to the sixth episode of the Gamer Now podcast, starring your host, the one, the only, incredible, not so incredible, infamous Scotty Bones. That's me. All right. So, in this sixth episode of the podcast here in gaming news, so some of this stuff is kind of going to be old news, but not really. So I'm going to go over it and have my take of what's going to happen in the news here. So we've got 6 things to go over. 6 things for the sixth podcast. That's how we're doing it. All right, number one, we've got the Switch Pro. Yeah, no, it's the Switch OLED model. That's not what we're calling it? Oh, okay. Well, it's the Switch OLED model is what these kids are calling it. So, yeah, we're going to go over what the Switch OLED model is going to be and what's entailed with that. Number two, there was a Sony State of Play a little less than a week ago, earlier in the week. So I'm just going to go over briefly about the 3 games that I thought were the best. There was like 6, 7 games. So I'm just going to go over the top 3 games that I thought were interesting to me and probably the games that I will buy. Number 3, we've got retro gaming in the news. Retro gaming. Why is that? Oh yeah, they're going crazy. Games are going crazy in the auctions. We'll get into that. Number 4, we have a new game that was just announced a few days ago called the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. That's gonna be some shit. Number 5, we've got this is insane. A Super Mario smartwatch. Yeah. A Super Mario smartwatch. Gonna go over those details about what the fuck? Why? Who wants to buy a Super Mario Brothers smartwatch? I don't know. And just today, which is July 15th, Valve announced something called the Steam Deck, right? It's going to be competing with the Nintendo Switch. We'll got a lot to cover on that aspect, so we're saving that for the very last. So let's get into this. So the Switch Pro, the Switch OLED model. The Switch OLED model. So, what is the Switch OLED model? Well, it's a screen that's obviously bigger. It's 7 inches instead of the 6.2 inches that was originally on the other Switch. So that's 0.8 inches bigger than before. And it's got obviously the OLED. It's a 720p screen, so we ain't bumping anything up to 4K, not even 1080p. We're just going 720p on that OLED model, so good job, Nintendo. And we got on the back of it, instead of that little flimsy, little tiny thin thing that's supposed to hold your Switch up, we got a nice thick stand that will keep it up, and there's like different you can set it down like a different way instead of just one. You can do it like different angles, like this, and this, however you want to do it. There's different angles for a much bigger stand. So if you're into putting your Nintendo Switch on a table, that's going to be for you. What else we got? Oh, they say they have better, louder speakers. So it's going to sound better. On the dock. Now, the dock. This is kind of strange looking at my paperwork here. The dock is going to be... There's going to be a LAN port on the dock because I don't own the big Switch. I own the Nintendo Switch Lite. So apparently there was no LAN port on the Switch dock. Why wasn't that a thing like in 2017 when it was released? Really? There was no LAN port on that shit? Okay. And so there's going to be a LAN port, but you're not going to get that extra USB port that was on the back or something. I guess they're taking away the USB port and putting a LAN cable, a LAN port, so you can plug a cable into it, which, okay, fine. I mean, having wired connection is better than a wireless connection, because if you live in an apartment, you know the Wi-Fi goes fucking psychotic and it can bounce around like a fucking Joker in a bounce house. And your Wi-Fi can actually suck. So it's good that they implemented a LAN port on that aspect, so you can have a more solid connection when you're gaming online. Personally, I would never in a million years game on wireless. Just, nope. Even though all these new systems have wireless capability, I would never do that. All my gaming systems have been LAN connected since day one. Never use wireless in gaming. Just no. So, also this is just weird. So, if you want this particular dock for your old Nintendo Switch, they'll sell it to you. But it ain't gonna come with a power cable. And it ain't gonna come with an HDMI cable. And it'll be sold only on Nintendo's website. So this dock ain't gonna be sold anywhere else besides Nintendo.com. So if you really want that LAN port, then, you can buy the dock. I don't think they said how much it's gonna be, but if you want that dock, then you're only gonna have to buy it on Nintendo's website. So how much is this new Nintendo Switch that everyone thought was going to be the Pro model? Okay. It's going to be $350. $50 more than what the actual model is. I personally think they should just drop the price of the older versions to like $250 and make this particular version $300. I mean, most people are looking at this like, okay, OLED, better technology, $50. All right, cool, I'll pay for it. But okay, I don't see the value in that. It's like the older Switch models should have had this type of technology from the get-go, because OLED was a thing back when Nintendo Switch was released, 2017. Pretty sure OLED was a thing back then. And if it wasn't, they've gone through many iterations of the Switch, so they could have done this like, I don't know, at least 2 to 3 years ago. They want to update the brightness of the screen just recently, like about, I don't know, it was like a year ago or less that they updated the nits of the screen brightness, so it was a better, crisper looking screen. But that's how much it's going to cost, $350. All right. Hello, nerds, everyone in the Nintendo sphere who are hardcore Nintendo fanboys. Listen the fuck up. The Nintendo DS. How many iterations did they have of the Nintendo DS? About 7, including the 3DS and 2DS. That many? Yeah. That is why you will never try. Okay, just don't think that there's going to be a Nintendo Switch Pro. Like, just get that out of your head, okay? Unless Nintendo says from their mouth, here's the new Nintendo Switch version 2 or whatever the fuck they call it. That's going to be 4K. It's gonna be like a PlayStation 4 in your hand type of deal. It's whatever, They went through like 5 or 6 different iterations of the Nintendo DS. So that's Nintendo for you. Nintendo being Nintendo, just doing a minuscule update to their current devices. So don't expect a 4K version of the Nintendo Switch anytime soon. Okay? Okay. All right. So that does it for that segment for the Nintendo Switch. So now we're going to talk about the Sony's State of Play. Like I said, I'm only going to go over the 3 games that I thought were, you know, in my taste, those are the games that I want to play. I don't, I don't know what other games there were, but I was just like, these are the 3 games that stuck out to me, and these are the particular games that I want to play. So the first game is called f.i.s.t. Fisting? No, man. Not that type of fist. Okay, it's called Forged in Shadow Torch. Now, what this game is you're a rabbit. A rabbit. Oh, like Roger Rabbit? Not Roger Rabbit. 8 Mile Rabbit. No, not the guy from the fucking rap movie. Okay. You're okay. Let's just call him a bunny. Okay, he's a bunny, and he's got a robotic fist that's like asininely huge, and it's a 3D it's a platformer, but it's in like 3D, and you just fucking fist things while you play the game. I didn't even think of this. So, yeah, you're using your fist to kill enemies. It's a robotic fist that he has. I don't quite understand what the storyline is. It wasn't really explained too well. You're just this rabbit that has this robotic huge fist. And apparently you have like a helicopter thing coming out of your head at some point. And you just smash the shit out of all your enemies with this big robotic arm. I like old school platformers, so this game kind of gives me that old school vibe. So it kind of intrigued me of, you know, how nice that game looked, because it has like the backgrounds are nice and cool. It kind of reminds me of Abe's Odyssey, or one of the Oddworld games. It has that kind of creepy looking feel to it if you ever played the Oddworld games. So kind of reminds me of that. Not made by the same people, but yeah, if you like platforming games, check this game out and see if it's your cup of tea. Now this next game. Does anyone like the movie Fight Club? That movie sucked. Yeah? Who doesn't like the movie Fight Club? So this next game is called Sifu, S-I-F-U. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sifu. It's a freestyle, all brawling Fight Club type of game. Like, think of it as like a Japanese Fight Club. So you're this dude, and it's just freestyle fighting. Like, you jump over fucking stairs, you fucking hang on to shit, kick people, punch people. It's just, it's madness, and it just looks fucking awesome. And it's weird. So like, if you die, your age goes up, and I guess you get more wise, but your stamina, I don't know if it goes up or down as you get older. If you reach a certain age, maybe you die, and I don't know. I don't really understand how that particular game works, because as you die, your age goes up. So obviously, if you get older and way older, you're not going to be as agile as you once were when you were that age of, like, you know, in your 30s, per se, let's say. But yeah, that game, you got to check that game out. Sifu. Apparently it got pushed back. There was a release date of, I think it was going to come out this year, but it was pushed back for early 2022. Now, the second game that's on my list here is Deathloop. That's the game that everyone wants to play on PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4. Deathloop. Now we got 10 solid minutes of nothing but gameplay, no CGI rendering, no fucking video, motion, whatever you want to call it, type of bullshit. Just 10 minutes of solid gameplay showing you what the game is, how it's going to work, and part of the storyline. So at first, it's just, to me, it looked like, I don't know what the big hype is about this particular game. So I guess the way I can explain it is time looping. And you ever see the movie Loopers with what's his name, Bruce Willis? Yeah, it's kind of like that in a video game format. You got to kill people, and there's time loops and all that kind of stuff. And it's in a first person shooting format. It looked like a pretty nice game. I mean, I still don't understand what the huge hype is about this game. I don't get hyped about video games anymore because Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky. I don't give a damn about. I don't care about video games anymore, man. I'm not gonna get hyped about them anymore because stuff like that happens. You know, you get hyped for a game and it's complete shit or doesn't even work on day one. So I take everything I see with a grain of salt, and I wait for reviews to come out, and I wait for the game to come out. I'm done pre-ordering video games these days. Don't care. The only game that I will buy day one, absolutely 100%, I don't give a fuck, is a Mortal Kombat game. It's 100%. I'm a sucker for Mortal Kombat games, and I don't understand why. Probably because I've been playing Mortal Kombat since I was like 11 or 12. Like, I was playing Mortal Kombat before I was really supposed to play it back in the day. Had the like MA13, and I was like 12 at the time. It's like, oh, you gotta be 13 to play this game. Anyway, so that's literally the only game that I will play when a game comes out. So we've probably got another 3 to 4 years before we see another Mortal Kombat game, because they just stopped. The last DLC for Mortal Kombat 11 was like a couple months ago. But I'm a sucker. I paid for all the DLC. I paid for all the new shit for the game, all the characters, the second story. I ended up paying like $130 or some shit for that game because fuck you, pay me. The one thing that was so insane is with Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 10, I paid $100 some for that game too, right? And when it was all said and done, when that game came out as a full package, they called it Mortal Kombat XL. Had all the DLC, all the characters, all the stuff was with it, right? So if I would have waited to play that game, it would have costed me. It was on sale for like $20, $30 for the entire game that I paid like $120 for. Why do I do that? Got to be the first one to play. That's why. Anyway, so those are the 3 games that I thought were the best at Sony State of Play. It wasn't really mind-boggling. Oh shit, this game's coming out. Oh shit, that game's coming out. Oh snap, what's this? Yeah, it was just like, okay, that, whatever. But f.i.s.t, Sifu, and Deathloop, those are the 3 games that I want to look forward to within this year, going on to early next year. Those are the games that I want to probably play. I will. Not probably, I will fucking play. All right, what do we got next on the list here? Society's fucked. Retro gaming. Remember I talked about the retro gaming? Why is retro gaming in the news? Well, all right, so an original copy of Zelda from the NES, sealed in its box, sealed, sold on an auction site. I don't think it was eBay, but it sold. You want to take any guesses how much that sold for? I think this game came out in like 80, somewhere in the mid 80s, I want to say. So 30 some years ago, okay? For this game. Sealed in the box. No one opened it, no one played it. How much you think that shit went for? $250,000? And not even close, buddy. Any other takers? You're right there. Guy. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You want to take a guess? Okay. Well, whatever you thought in your head, fucking like double or triple that. Because this particular game sold for over $800,000. And for a game. A piece of plastic. I mean, it's not like this game is ultra rare type of game where they only made like 30 copies or something. It's just a fucking game that's been unopened. Now, I don't know who these collectors are, but if you've got an old school Nintendo game, you might want to keep that copy because even though it's opened, you just want to hold on to it because it might be worth over $800,000. Now, I'm not even close to done here. Okay. The game Super Mario 64 for N64. You want to know how much that went for? Fuck it, $1 million. Any takers? Any takers? You said this guy over here thinks it's gonna be $1 million. Yeah? Well, $1.5 million. The fuck out of here. For a sealed copy of N64, a Mario 64 game. $1.5 million. Who are these people buying these games? Okay, I'm back. I just can't process $1.5 million for a cartridge that plays a game. Hey, remember everyone back in the day saved your baseball cards because they thought they were going to be worth hundreds, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars? And you saved all your baseball cards and basketball cards because, you know, you got the Michael Jordan rookie card, you got the Barry Bonds, fucking any of these motherfuckers, a rookie card. You know how much those? I shit you not. I was at some sort of collector's place where they sold baseball cards, right? I looked up how much the Michael Jordan rookie card was selling for. I don't remember exactly, but I know it was under $1,000. A Michael Jordan rookie card. No one's buying these cards because who's gonna buy these cards? It's all about supply and demand. No one's demanding cards these days, so everyone's into video games and those little fucking, what are those things called? Oh yeah, the Funko Pops. People want those and they're worth a lot of money too. So keep your toys and keep your video games because I guess they're going to be worth a fuck ton of money to some rich son of a bastard. Well, maybe you can save. Maybe in like 30 years from now, a random Xbox game that I have that's sealed. Because I do have sealed Xbox 360 games. Yes, I do. That I just never touched. Maybe in 30 years, that sealed fucking game will go for to $1 million. And then the motherfuckers who laughed at me for keeping sealed games. Who's laughing now, motherfucker? I'll be laughing to the fucking bank because my shit was sealed. And everyone else was like, why are you keeping your games, bro? Just if you're done playing it, just fucking sell it or give it to GameStop or do something. Like, you already played, you're never going to touch it again. So what the fuck are you keeping it for? Well, funny you say that because we got video games going for $1.5 million on a fucking market in some auction site. So, fuck you if you want me to sell my video games, because I'm not. Anyway. Next topic we got Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. This was just announced a few days ago. Just name a random... Go ahead. Name a random Nickelodeon character from the 90s. Go ahead. A random one. Powdered Toast Man. Yes! A Powdered Toast Man from Ren and Stimpy. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's gonna be okay, I don't give a shit if this game is horrible, terrible, piece of shit, whatever. I can play as Ren and Stimpy and Powdered Toast Man. I'm fucking playing that game. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. It's the Nicktoons from the 90s, and any Nickelodeon conglomerate or any Nickelodeon property. Any Nickelodeon property is going to be in this game. So Ninja Turtles is now Nickelodeon. So yep, you guessed it. You can play as Michelangelo, Leonardo, and they haven't announced any other. They've announced a few characters here but they're going to keep some of them secret, I hope. Maybe unlockables, DLCs. Get your credit card out to buy this fucking character. Get your other credit card out to buy this. Grind and grind and grind so you can get this character. Maybe there'll be a secret character. Type in the code. Oh yeah, we got that character now. Like NBA Jam type of code. Like, all right, man. They have fucking, you can play as Reptar from Rugrats. Helda. There's a whole bunch of other properties that I never watched. Invader Zim. What else did they have? I don't think they had Doug. But okay. If they don't have any characters from Doug, Chiado and Nickelodeon, you gotta have Doug. That's the original Nicktoons. So if you don't have anything from Doug, you're crazy. Because I want to play Roger Klotz. Kick some motherfuckers in the face. Or Skeeter. I don't care. Okay, so what this game is, sorry, I got a Nickelodeon boner because I'm a fucking Nicktoons guy from the early 90s because I grew up on the early Nicktoons, which was Ren and Stimpy, the Rugrats, and Doug. Those were the three OG Nicktoons. Hands down, the best Nicktoons. Ren and Stimpy, if they made that today, which would never happen in a million years, it wouldn't be airable. Not on Nickelodeon. That's why you'll never see reruns of Ren and Stimpy on Nickelodeon. Nope. You want to get Ren and Stimpy, you go buy those on DVD or they'll put them on a streaming service. That show is just... The guy who drew this and voiced the guy... I'm not going to get into it, but that guy was fucked in the head. Like, yes, seriously, fucked in the head. some shit happened to this guy after it was all said and done. Some legal shit happened to this guy, and fuck him, John Krasinski. No, John K. Krafumps. I don't know, man. This guy has some weird Russian asinine fucking name I can't even pronounce, but he just went by John K. That guy. There is something psychologically wrong with this fucking dude, and you could tell because Ren and Stimpy. That's all I got to say. And if anyone here has never watched Ren and Stimpy, why are you watching me? Fucking go to your nearest Best Buy and buy the DVDs, like fucking right now, because this is the only way you're gonna be able to buy. Just click out of here, go. Run to the store, buy Ren and Stimpy, be like, oh shit, this is some fucked up shit that would never air on TV ever in a million fucking years ever again. This shit would get canceled in the first 10 seconds of the show. But anyway, Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. That game, whenever it comes out, when's the release date? Damn it, I don't think they gave a release date for that. But whenever it comes out, 100% getting that shit. Number 5, we've got a Super Mario Brothers luxury smartwatch. It's a luxury Super Mario smartwatch. It's not a mechanical watch. It's just a smartwatch that has fucking Mario going in and out of some pipe. He's going in and out of piping. So this smartwatch is made by a company named Tag Heuer. It sounds French. Who gives a fuck? I've never heard of this brand. And the watch costs $2,150. Okay, Bob Barker. Oh, I'm sorry. This wasn't a game show or anything. I was just telling you how much the retail price of this shit costs. $2,150 for a smartwatch that just tells you the fucking time. If it's that much money, better be platinum with diamonds crusted around it. Hey, man, I mean, it looks almost identical to Samsung's smartwatches. Those watches are like $300 to $400. And this thing goes for a $2,000. Just who's buying these watches? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know who's buying these watches. Like, who wants something like this? A rich fanboy who has a sexual fetish for Mario. Okay. I mean, collectors, I guess, but I certainly, your average guy who plays Mario Brothers, who's rich as fuck, probably gonna buy this and then just sell it to someone, and then they'll probably buy it for like 8 times the price. Because, probably only gonna be limited edition. A limited edition. I don't know, man, but that particular stupid watch is it's gonna be a thing. I don't know what the release date is, but maybe I'll put it right here. Man, what the fuck on top of what the fuck? Look, bro, I told you. This ain't your podcast, it's my podcast, so I do whatever the I want to do. Anyway. So, yeah. Okay. Up next. Hold on 1 second. I had to Had to get some coffee for this podcast because some crazy shit going on, man. Hey, what the fuck happened to your cool PlayStation mug? Oh, it was dirty, so I had to go with this. Looks like a beehive or something. I don't know, man. Yeah, you think so? I don't know, dude. It keeps my coffee warm, so I don't know if it does look like a bee's hive, kind of. Uh, Gives a fuck. All right. Now for the main event. For all you gamers out there in gaming land who have always wanted a portable gaming system that's real. I'm not talking about your Game Boys, your DS's, your fucking Nintendo Switches, any of those shit. You want a real gaming system, right? You want a real gaming system. None of this kiddie shit. Oh, hey, I want to play the new Pokemon. No, this shit right here, play the bad boys. These are the bad boy video game systems. Valve's Steam Deck. Steam, Valve, the company that makes the Steam you buy all your video games from. Steam, Steam. We're not talking about a Stream Deck, the thing that you use on your little desk to stream. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Steam. The ARM thingy, whatever. I don't know what the logo is. That's what it looks like. Anyway, so Valve's Steam Deck is crazy. It looks like if the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One controller fucked hard and then had a kid and had that. Yeah. That is the bad boy portable gaming system. Now, as you can see by the controller, I've been putting the video here so you can watch it. But the controller seems kind of weird to me. It has two thumbsticks on the top. So the controller, the controller thing, it has the thumbsticks on the top. I don't have my Switch with me, but fuck it. Well, the Switch, you've got the thumbstick on the top, and then you got the other one kind of at the bottom, just like an Xbox controller. Well, this has the thumbsticks both at the top. So you're going to be playing like this, and then you have the little buttons below the thumbsticks. It looks kind of awkward in the video that I saw, but I don't know, I'd have to like play with it. That's what she said. Nah, man, come on. Man, that's not what I meant though. I can't. I would have to play with the controller in my hand in order to get a feel for it, to see if I like it or not. So it's got the two thumbsticks, it's got a D-pad, and also the D-pad is like, it's awkward. Like it's to the side, to the left side of the thumbstick. Again, like I would have to play this thing to see if I could play it. I don't know, it's just me. I'm kind of weird because I've always wanted the thumbstick below, or the D-pad below the thumbstick, not like to the side. It's I don't know. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So let's focus. Good. Focus. All right, cool. Anyway, so it's got your regular thumbsticks, it has your D-pad, and it has your regular 4 buttons on the right-hand side. Also, it's got 4 paddle buttons on the back. They're not like paddle buttons per se, but there's buttons on the back that could act as paddles like you would from the Xbox Pro controller, or those SCUF controllers that have those things on the back. It's got those on the back, so you can map them to whatever you want in whatever game you're playing, which is, dude, that's it's perfect. No more buying extra shit. It already has it. Oh, And to top off the awesomeness of this thing, right below the thumbsticks, right? They've got trackpads. Trackpads. Little square trackpads that act as a mouse. So on both sides, not just one side, both sides, they're mouse trackpads. So if you're playing a game that using a regular controller ain't gonna work out too well for you, you can use a mouse trackpad. Just like in first-person shooters if you don't want to use that, or some sort of like point-and-click type of games where dual controllers would just be awful. Yeah, we got you covered. We got motherfucking trackpads. What? Yeah. All right. So, what else do they have? It's got a 7-inch touchscreen at 720p though. It could just go 1080p. I mean, why? I don't understand why they're doing 720p. I guess because it's such a small screen, you ain't gonna notice a difference between 720p and 1080p. They're not gonna do a 4K because it's not a 4K gaming system, because I'm gonna go over the specs in a bit. So wouldn't make any sense to do a 4K screen. So in addition to that controller scheme, right? It has capacitive touch on the buttons, on the trigger buttons and the top shoulder buttons. Capacitive touch with a gyro sensor. So we're talking somewhere in between a PlayStation 4 controller and a PlayStation 5 controller. Somewhere in that realm. On top of all of this, I'm just going to say on top of everything that I've said so far, it can be docked. Just like a Nintendo Switch, it can be docked. It can be used just like a PC. You can plug in a keyboard, you can plug into a mouse, whatever peripheral you want. It's whatever, because it's not a closed system where you're, it's not like its own OS. It's running off of like some sort of custom Linux system. And if you wanted to, you could say, well, fuck Linux. I never heard anyone say that in my entire life. But if you're an idiot, you could format the whole shit and install Windows on it, still play it like it's a normal Windows PC. And you can install a different version of Linux. You know what? It's literally, the guy was saying it's literally a PC. So do whatever you want with it. They don't give a fuck. It's not a closed ecosphere. So you can do whatever you want with it and just use it as a PC when it's in docked mode. You plug in a monitor into it. The IGN guy apparently had a pre-production unit, and he said that when it was in dock mode, he couldn't tell that he was using this device. He's just like, if no one said anything, he'd be like, yeah, that's a cool computer. It's a computer. It's just a small portable computer with a screen. Hook it in, dock it, use it like a computer. So now let's get to the nerdy tech stuff. What's the processor? How's the graphics card? How much gigarams does it have? And what's the bus? What's all the... Man, just shut the fuck. I'm about to tell you, man. Shit. All right. So, it's got an AMD Zen 2 CPU running RDNA 2 GPU. It's got 16 gigs of RAM and between 64 and 512 gigabytes of storage. Now, here's where things get a bit dodgy for your average consumer. Well, it's not dodgy, but your average consumer ain't gonna pay that much. So take a deep breath. Whew. Base model of this is $399 at 64 gig capacity. It's running flash memory, but the 64 gig is going to be running flash memory, $399. If you want the 256 gigabyte model, it's going to be $512. 500. I mean, okay. It's going to be $512, and it's running off an NVMe drive, and the 512 gigabyte model is $649, and that's also an NVMe drive. So kind of getting those numbers skewered because it's a lot of numbers and gigabytes that kind of crisscross 512, 256. What? The 256 gigabyte model is $512, which uses an NVMe drive, solid state type of drive. 512 gigabyte model is $649, also an NVMe drive. The base model is not an NVMe drive. It's just flash memory. But it does have a card slot where you can just plug in you can just put in an SD card and you can use that as a form of storage as well. And fairly certain you could plug a USB fucking drive into it if you wanted to, like one of those nano rocket drives that are SSDs as well. Pretty sure you can do that. Not 100% confirmed, but they said it's a PC, so why the fuck not? So basically, if you were not a tech person and you just were like, so I fell asleep during this podcast because what the fuck you were just talking about was cannabis, whatever the fuck. Put it to you like this, all right? It's gonna be very simple. So basically what this is going to be is a portable PlayStation 4 and a portable Xbox One. It's pretty much what it is, okay? If you want a portable Xbox One and a portable PlayStation 4, go get that, okay? That's what it boils down to, man. So, also want to point out for you geeks out there, it does ray tracing. So, I didn't have that in my notes, but I remembered because I have a good memory. Bro, you can't even remember what you had for breakfast. All right, okay. Yeah, I know I can't remember what the fuck I ate for breakfast yesterday, but I mean, does really anyone, if you just say, hey man, what'd you eat for breakfast yesterday? Pancakes. Motherfucker ain't gonna remember. No one remembers that bullshit. Who the fuck? Why would you want to remember what you ate for breakfast yesterday? That's just a stupid thing people say where it's like, hey man, you got a terrible memory. You can't remember what the fuck you ate for breakfast yesterday. Okay. But no one can. Anyway. So, let's just rewind about everything about what I talked about. The Switch OLED model, $350. We had the Sony State of Play. We had the f.i.s.t game. We had the Sifu game. And we had the Deathloop game. The Sifu game doesn't have a release date, but it's 2022. The f.i.s.t game comes out September 7th. Deathloop comes out September 14th. You had the retro games. If you're into retro games, again, keep your games. You got old games, fucking keep them. Don't sell them, just keep them. Anything older than Xbox 360, I'm sorry. Yeah, anything older than Xbox 360, keep them. Just keep them. Don't sell them. Don't sell them. Until that skyrockets, you're going to be a rich motherfucker selling all those games you got. I'm telling you, if you got those games, keep them. Don't trade them. Don't give them to somebody. Don't give them to your cousin who wants it because he has an old system because it's the in thing. Don't give it. No, fuck that. You keep it. Then we have the Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, 100% buying that shit day one whenever it's released. And then we had the Mario smartwatch that I don't even know what I'm talking about. It just blew my mind of how much it was, $2,150. That's the only people buying that shit are fucking collectors. And of course, the Steam Deck. Oh, forgot to say, of course. I'm an idiot. You want to know when that release date is going to be for the Steam Deck? We just heard about it today. Which is July 15th. Never knew it existed. There was not, IGN just all of a sudden had a video. Hey, we got this thing called Steam Deck. Everyone's like, what the fuck? So you want to know when that release date's going to be? Any guesses? Next year. Nope. 2023. Hell no, man. What the fuck? Holiday 2021. Yeah, they're trying to compete with the new Switch OLED and the new gaming systems that are supposed to come out. Wait, with the gaming systems that are supposed to be available this holiday season, because they said, hey, we're gonna get some new gaming systems so you're gonna be able to buy them. It's like what's the deal with gaming systems today, man? It's like a lottery system. It's like, hey, get notifications to let you know when a new gaming system's gonna be ready to buy. It's like, oh yeah, all right. It's like getting a fucking horse race ticket when you're at the horse races. You get your ticket. Oh, come on, strawberry jizz fuck. Come on. Ah, shit. Didn't fucking win. That's literally how it is with gaming systems today. It's a lottery system, man. They tell you to put the shit in your cart and then you gotta wait. Oh, it's not in your cart yet, but we're waiting to see how many other people buy it. Then it might get in your cart. Oh, but it's in your cart now. Then it's not in your cart because it's like, oh yeah, check out. Magically disappeared because people are fucking using bots and all that type of bullshit. I don't buy this bullshit from COVID where there's a chip shortage. Don't buy it. Don't buy it at all. I don't know what's going on. There's some nefarious bullshit going on in the realm of Silicon Valley. I don't understand it. No one really does, but they blame COVID because no one were able to manufacture these chips for like 3, 4, 5 months. Not buying it. I have a dream that one day every man, woman, little boy, and little girl will be able to go on a reputable website and buy a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X on a random Tuesday at 2 o'clock. I have a dream that every man, woman, boy, and girl will be able to walk into a random Best Buy on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. and also be able to buy a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X and will not have to pay $1,000 for it because the retail price is $500. Hey, maybe one day that will happen. Maybe that day will be this holiday season. Maybe. Hopes and prayers. Hopes and prayers. Anyway, that does it for this episode of the Gamer Now podcast. If you haven't watched my previous episodes, which I don't know why you haven't, why you'd be watching this episode, because you'd be like, who's this crazy motherfucker talking bullshit all the time? Well, to get an understanding of who I am and what's going on, you gotta watch my first couple of episodes to understand what's going on, who I am, and all that type of jazz. But go ahead, click the like button, subscribe, because I need subscribers to get that rolling in the algorithm and to get that cash money. Also, if you click like, click subscribe, I also have a Patreon in my description. If you want to sign up for my Patreon and donate so I can keep making these videos, because as of right now, I'm doing this on my free time for shits and giggles. Mostly the shits. I mean giggles. Yeah, maybe both. Maybe I'm taking a shit right now because you don't know what's going on behind me. I could be taking a shit. Could I be? I don't know. Oh man, that background? What the fuck, dude? Is that a truck stop in like the middle of fucking Tennessee somewhere? Oh, dude. Anyway, so like the video, subscribe to this channel. If you want to, donate to my Patreon and watch my previous videos right in here. Do what you need to do. And that does it for this episode of the Gamer Now podcast.